Hey there, this is Amelia here. Welcome to Amelia's cross-dressing story. Today we are going to share a story called My Name is Amelia Part 1. For more interesting and exclusive stories, please subscribe to my channel and support me at Patreon. Well, it started out simply enough. I was on a trip from Denver to San Diego and points in between to get up my sales teams spread all the way along the route. I like to drive because I have a lot of teams in many different places and the only way I can see them all is by driving. A long trip, but well worth it. I stopped over to visit the team in Barstow. A cute little redhead called Kathy was the entire team, and, as I usually did after hours, I was indulging myself in a tasty little black linen skirt and a red silk blouse, some black stockings and high heels. A lot of makeup went into the mix along with a blonde wig I paid a fortune for. I don't have to mention that there was some scrumptious lingerie under all of that. If all that froth was converted to milk, it would have made a lot of babies very happy. Since I was going to be away from home for a little while, I shaved my legs on the first night, something I didn't do as often as I wanted to. I looked myself over in the big wardrobe mirror. Damn, I was gorgeous, and that was part of my trouble. I was so gorgeous I wanted to share myself with the world. So far I hadn't even made it out the door, gorgeous or not, because I was shy and I was troubled. I can explain shyness. That was actually the fear of being found out, read, discovered, revealed to the world as a guy and therefore some kind of pervert, and that would affect the troubles I was having. You see, I was engaged to a humdinger of a girl, a babe no less, who I adored but who didn't know about my proclivities. I wasn't at all sure she would understand, but I was quite sure her parents wouldn't. Her father was a judge and her mother was a snob. There, I've said it. A snob. I've wanted to call her that for a while now, preferably to her face. She checked out everyone and everything, and if they didn't stand up to her scrutiny, well, too bad. I only qualified because Nicole loved me as much as I loved her and told her mother to back off. Not only a babe, but a stand-up one. She gets called Nick for short, but not by her parents, to whom she is only ever Nicole. My name, for the record, is Felix Aronson. I know for a fact that her mother had tried to put her off dating me. She thought that sales was the white-collar equivalent of street cleaning, but once I explained I had control of the entire West Coast and had 275 people working under me, she started to unbend. Slightly. Nick's father was of better value. Old Roger was straight as an arrow and as wise as judges need to be, but he was still strictly conservative. I had a theory that Nick would probably not be totally opposed to the idea, and let's face it, I wasn't going to suggest I live my life as Amelia. Oh, that's my name when I'm dressed up and gorgeous. Amelia, the closet crossdresser. I only wanted to go out once in a while as Amelia, and I really wanted to go out with Nick. So my trouble was, what, if anything, would I say to her? What would she say? What if she said, go away, or worse? I didn't want to lose her, but we've all read those stories about great girls not wanting to be involved or even being prepared to acknowledge your existence when the crunch arrived, steaming down the road and knocking on the front wall of the house. Like every other crossdresser in the entire universe, I needed to be a girl some of the time. I was worried. A lot. So tonight I admired myself for a while longer and sat down to watch television. A reality/survivor show about people dropped into quicksand and the last person with their head above the quicksand got a free burial. Something like that. The program wasn't riveting enough to distract me from my thoughts. It grated that I was so lacking in confidence. I could sell anything to anyone and I was something of a legend in the small goods world, but go outside as Amelia? Nah. Forget it. A couple of beers smoothed me out a little. I watched Terminator 2 for the 2000th time and enjoyed it again. The hotel didn't have Turner Classic Movies on the list, which was a bummer. I like those musicals and dramas where all the women wear big skirts and petticoats. I finally fell asleep as the credits for T2 rolled and I woke up half an hour later knowing it was time to hit the sack. For ages I've been in the habit of being a girl from the moment I got to my hotel room until I absolutely had to change to go and eat breakfast. Tonight was no exception. I just took off my day clothes and slipped on the nightgown and negligee that I bought on eBay a few months ago. That I was totally locked in, and the chains and security devices were all in place, with rows and rows of fine lace that was no one could sneak in during the night and tear off the bedclothes and shout to the other 50 people they brought with them. Look, it was too damn beautiful not to be. This woman isn't a woman at all. I had a copy of War and Peace for bedtime reading. I knew I should have read it when I was younger because it's a classic. I feel guilty sometimes because I prefer books that are lightweight and preferably funny, while Nicole is a literature major and has read a lot. She started a reading program for me I've been trying to follow, but I can't see myself lasting that particular course. I suppose I have War and Peace to thank for still being alive. Instead of turning off the light and going to sleep dreaming of silky things, I fell asleep sitting up with the bedside light on. Normally, the last thing I do before bye-byes is take off my makeup like a good girl and put my wig aside. I think that if I'd done that and slipped into my usual deep sleep, I might have failed to notice that the hotel was on fire. I was on the 3rd floor. The alarms went off, and because one was right outside my door, it got me immediately. I woke up and all I could see was fire on the other side of the room, and it was hot. Very hot. That's all for now. Please subscribe my channel for more stories and support me at Patreon for exclusive content. Link in the comment.